Welcome back to the Tidal Wave Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for December 17th, 2023. Now, this is about 8-9 days away from Christmas. And I gotta say that it doesn't feel like it when you're out and about. I was talking to my wife about it. She likes shopping almost as much as I do. And we all decided that next weekend is going to be crazy. So be kind to the people working in the retail space when it's as crazy as next week. But we do have some Transformers news like every week. I do not remember a week there was no Transformers news. We have some G.I. Joe news, and it's not a lot, but obviously this isn't fun. There's one other thing going on, but pretty interesting stuff. I do want to share my story about the mothership. We have some model kits for RoboCop that are pretty affordable. I'm just curious about the part count. I haven't found that yet. A lot of things going on at Ramen Toy, and yes, a lot of things about to ship that we've been waiting for. I'm super excited. I'm going to share my thoughts on this. This was a reveal of the next wave of Ghostbusters. If it's really true, I've got thoughts on this, and there's some pretty cool stuff. I'm kind of into this whole X-Men 97 and what's going on with it, and I got some things to say about the Goblin Queen. I've been looking at her. I think it's a pretty cool looking figure, but future versions. And finally, we got Star Wars news, but it's not great. It's not great. I got some really funny points to make about this. We'll talk about this and more coming up. So what's new at Show Z? I like to show the stuff that's a really good value this week. And this MP29 Shockwave, $44.99. That's cheaper than I got my KO Shockwave. And so very impressive. I wish it was the plus deeper purple color, because I would be all over that. Star Toys Blitzwing is back up for pre-order, so I guess they're doing another run. And with that, it's $1 down. I, of course, reviewed this. I love this figure. This is my main version of Blitzwing in my display. And with that, I don't know the price. I think it was like $115 or $125 when it came out before. I don't know if there's going to be any change. It doesn't say there's going to be any changes to it, but still, if you want this, get in on it. I think it's a great figure. And the fourth party version of Superion. Now, when I first told everybody that these were a thing, I felt they were too expensive, and I said that. They are pricey. From $94, they're marked down to $70, but there's only 21 days left. I'm going to give everybody on the channel a few days to order theirs before I order mine. And if they sell out before I get mine, and they sell out before I get mine. But I'm just letting everybody know about this first. Remember, TH reviewer code if you order anything. And yes, I shill for low prices. Alright, so this is something else. Toy Easy YW2301 CV16. The Lining Shandog carrier. It's cool looking. It is. And they've been making a lot of these. They've been making what appear to be pretty cool figures. It is up for pre-order at Show Z also, but that's not why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because it is something new that I haven't seen yet, and it does turn into this carrier. I think it looks pretty cool. And it also, I'm guessing that little side submarine shuttle kind of thing is a weapon. Does it turn into a weapon? But yeah, it looks really good. The thing about this is, just look at that carrier. Look how realistic and close to perfection that thing looks, and it transforms into a really good-looking bot, and I think they do pretty good work. I might actually go in on this one. This is the one out of all of them I've seen that I like the most. Make Toys is showing off their Seeker mold, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you about this. I love their cone heads. I think they're the best cone heads on the market to date. I'm shocked that we didn't see the Deformation Space come out with the cone head version. We haven't seen Takara make cone heads off their 3.0 that they're calling their 2.0 mold. And I personally think that Deformation Space and Takara's Seekers look a little bit more tune accurate than the Make Toy Seekers. But Make Toys is actually making all of these in different colors, and they're making the cone heads. So this is really the bread and butter for Make Toys. And they're going to use this revenue, obviously, to make the new figures, and hopefully get the headmasters out of it and all that kind of stuff. But really cool that they're doing all of these, even though I think their mold is a little bit dated. But for the cone head, I love their cone heads. They just blitzed the internet with a bunch of pictures this past week, and here's one of them, Sonic Jet, and it's a purple cone head. Now, this isn't part of the main three that generally, once you get outside the main three, they don't sell as well. Once you get outside the main characters, you get obscure, they don't sell as well. But I still think it's cool, and if you're interested in getting this kind of stuff, then you might want to check it out. Next up, we have Fans Hobby, and Fans Hobby has been showing more pictures of their MB24. They call it Lernian. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. It's a Dreadwing and Dreadwind or something like that, and they combine together. I've been avoiding it because they keep showing slight different upgrades and variations as they go to their prototypes. This is a color prototype. It looks really good. This is a nice looking figure overall. And I've been trying to not spend money and waste money and spend money on stuff like this, but I might be in on this. This is really awesome. Here's the alt mode, and it's kind of armored up with all of everything that it's got going on, and of course these little guys that come with it. Really impressive in what they're doing here. I like what they're doing, and yeah, it's kind of hard to say no. It's really getting hard to say no to this, and I hear a lot of great things about Fans Hobby lately. This scissoring action might actually seal the deal for me. It looks fantastic. I think that this is a pretty cool set, and I might regret passing on it, so I might get in on it. Pretty awesome, but you do got to buy two to get them to combine and all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty awesome. This is not Masterpiece, but it is 8-inch scale, so it's bigger than Chug, smaller than Masterpiece. I wish it kind of fit one of them more than the other, but it's its own new scale. It's what Red should have been. YOLO Park. It's going to be really hard to get the transparent one, but I didn't even for a second think about doing this because it is a kit. It's a model kit. It is plug 12 pieces together to build it in 4 minutes or maybe even a minute of putting it together. You can pull it back apart and swap out the clear parts. They really should make these clear ones available to everybody easily for the $60 price point because this is amazing. This is awesome. This is the whole reformatting going on. I did not even consider this as an option, and look how cool that is. Look how awesome that is. Not only that, but you could do two. Just wow. I think this is so cool. I really do hope I can get my hands on one of these clear ones, but I really would like it to be available for everybody. It's a Singapore exclusive or something like that, so it's gonna be challenging to get your hands on. But look at that. So many options with this line that I didn't even think about. Because, I mean, your Masterpiece figures, you're not going to be popping legs off and swapping them around. And even on the main line, even on their Red figures, it's not happening. This is so cool. Back over to Fans Hobby for a bit. This is their team. This is their Saber team. And I've learned a lot more about this. A lot of it from you guys. And I think it's pretty cool that they're making this. So I like that. But this combines, people said that they are mini cons, and if so, that's cool, that's interesting. But they form this sword, pretty cool looking sword that they form into. It actually looks pretty interesting, and they form into ships. You can see the ship modes on there too. Really cool stuff. Very interesting little set, and I might be in on that too, just because it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, and yeah, Saber team. XM Studios put out pictures of their Beast Wars Megatron and Optimus Prime statue color samples, and they're big. These are some big ones. They're expensive. This one is at the Singapore Comic-Con, which is the only place you can get that YOLO Park Megatron clear. But pretty cool. These are very expensive statues, very big, highly detailed, and if you're into this, this is coming pretty soon. So we've got this Ramen Toys, which I think is Legends. I believe it's Legends. And we're getting what appears to be a Jetfire and the Optimus Prime, which combine and transform and all that kind of stuff. So they look pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I'm not sure price point yet, and it's something that I love Jetfire. I kind of hated the fact that they did this to Jetfire as a character, but I have this, and I think it's cool how they combine. So they did cool things with it. Here are the alt modes for both of them. And it's hard to deny that the alt modes look really good, and the whole idea of the parts combining is an interesting concept. It still doesn't feel like the character Jetfire to me. And here's what they look like combined. So this is a pretty cool, interesting project that they are working on, and we got renders for it. Obviously no prototypes yet, definitely not even grayscale or even color prototypes, but it'll be interesting to watch how this goes, see the price point, and I might actually be in on it because there's really not a lot of Legends scale live action movie stuff. This week I didn't see a whole lot of Legends news come out. It's kind of like feast and famine with Legends. It's like one week you'll get 10 drops and next week not much, but I'm a little ultra beyond jealous of this here because Sue's my favorite Dinobot and he's in my top 5 of Transformers by far, and I like him more than Grimlock. So looking at all these different color variations, I want to go in on it. They're not cheap though, but I'm probably going to pull the trigger on the clear one, maybe even the toy one. It's so hard. Like, you look at all these, and if you pass on them down the road, I don't think New Age goes back and just like, we're going to reissue these. They just blitz it like so many at once, and then when they sell out, they sell out. But man, they look good. That's a really nice looking set of swoops. Very jealous. And there's the clear. And so the clear, let's be clear, I really do want that, so I probably will get it. I've been on a clear kick lately. Maybe Crystar has something to do with it. So Dr. Wu is working on the supersonic and explosion, decibel, and graphite noise. So here's sketches on this. This looks really cool. This is one of those things that I don't even know if I have this one in the vintage line. Is this the one that we got as an exclusive through Hasbro Pulse? Is a Japanese only release? I think that's what this is. But anyway, this is supposed to go along with the Blaster, and it's the Legacy / Kingdom Blaster. And of course, probably work with your blue version, twin cast, and all that kind of stuff. This is supposed to be available September or October of 2024. But I haven't bought any of these, but this might be something I go in on just because it's that rare. It's like one of those real rare rarities that I kind of like. Here's the set modes, and I'm guessing they're showing how you can store. Can you store the pieces? The extra accessories that go with it? But it looks like they're showing them on the side and not stored, but there should be a way to store them. Anyway, that's third party usually does that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. Alright, this Transformers Dramatic Capture Series, Nemesis Bridge, Shockwave, Megatron, Soundwave samples, they have been shown off at Singapore Comic-Con. Now, when I originally saw this set, I thought it was a lot of money for what it was, but now that the more I look at it, I pre-ordered it through BBTS, and the more I look at it, the more I realize this is an excellent value for like $109, because the Earthrise Soundwave is selling for pretty much that on the secondary market, but this is the best version of Megatron they put out. I mean, it doesn't quite hold a candle to YOLO Park, but still it's the best version that we've seen in a mainline Megatron, in my opinion. And the Shockwave, you had to pay $55 for Shockwave originally. I paid $25 for mine because I got it on sale. But just adding this all up as a value, I mean, it's a pretty good value, pretty good set. The throne is okay, but you could just go get one of the $15 Starscreams for the throne. But I think it's a pretty good set, pretty cool set. And seeing this picture, it just reinforces that. All right, so we got some pictures of, they're calling this the movie, is this movie Wheeljack? And I don't know who they call what in the movies these days, but movie Wheeljack. And this appears to be the repurpose, is this a repurpose? I have more questions than answers here, of the Stranger Things van. Because it does kind of look like the Stranger Things van, but there it is. Next to a real Wheeljack. Side note, Ross, I was at a Ross and they had Wheeljacks for $10, and I was like, well, I already got mine, and I didn't even think to grab one for my son, and I've been hearing about that. I was like, oh, you want one? Let's go get it. And of course they were gone. So I keep hearing about that one though, that one that got away. Now this is kind of the mainline Hasbro segment, but I'm going to throw this in here. This Way Studios is a Chinese company that's revealed through their Weibo account and officially licensed Bumblebee movie blind box figurines. And I thought this was interesting. They are only a few inches tall, and blind box. I hate blind box. I mean, kids love it for like their Pokemon stuff or whatever the heck they blind box. They just love it. I don't know why. I don't understand why. But they look painted really well. They look like cool little figurine statues. There is a 15% probability of getting Optimus Prime, 16.6% of Bumblebee and a 16.6% of a sound wave. I don't like those probabilities, and I don't like shooting blind when I collect. All right, so we got pictures of the Year of the Dragon Crimson Flame in hand. The Pixel Master somehow got his hands on it, and it's an extensive retool of the Last Night Deluxe Steel Bane. So more information about this figure. That's how big it is. I'm just looking, so you can see a human hand and see the size of it, so you can understand the size and scale. I like that. I like in hand showing you how big it is. I thought it was bigger than that, to tell you the truth. That's what she said. This is the Dragon mode, and personally I was kind of thinking they were going to base it more off of the Megatron, the Beast Wars Transmetal 2 version, which that dragon is cool. But this is a cool dragon too, and I like the translucent. So there's cool things about this also. Okay, so this past week, Sam Smith, a Transformer designer, has posted on his Instagram account about this Tidal Wave. Now, this is one of those things that I don't know much about this character, and I didn't, but I've heard so many people clamor for this to be made in the Titan scale, and it looks amazing. This is where I think G1ers will be plopping down some money for it, even though it's not the G1 era, to get this because it looks that cool. I think it is a very interesting figure, and with it, there's so much that goes into it. I like the look of this. I think that just the three components that combine at first surprised me because I didn't know anything about it. But the more you see it and the more you see how the interconnectivity and how it works, it looks really cool. It's very interesting. And there's different configurations and setups and how you can do this. So really will be fun to start seeing people get it in hands and doing stuff with it. Pretty impressive how it works. And then here's some more pictures of separate components, which is another thing. It's just all new to me in a way, but still, it still feels like familiar, I have to say. I mean, I think Broadside is what I was thinking of when I thought of this guy, but still, really cool. Do you like to sing the song Instruments of Destruction from Transformers the movie 1986? Well, the karaoke version is up on YouTube if you want to just have the instrumental and sing along to it. Sing it. So, I don't want to play any games with it because this song in particular is like the first one to get gigged on a copyright on YouTube. So just I avoid using it, but I absolutely love the song. It's one of the best songs. So this is real sad. There's a Pauline Newstone, the voice of Beast Wars Air Razor, has passed away, and I don't have much information such as age and what happened all surrounding that. But it's always sad when you hear someone from the community passed, and it doesn't really feel like that long ago when this was out. Well, it was 1996, and that was a long time ago. So with that, though, it's always sad, and my heart goes out. This is where we transition to the rest of the news, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. Well, yesterday I did talk about Hasbro, and I did talk about how they laid off the 1,100 people. You know, it was a scumbag move, scumbag company, corporate move to announce the layoff right before Christmas. Most people are linking that with this because the news dropped on the same day, and I can see how they link it. I think it's completely a separate issue or a separate discussion, and I've got to tell you what I think about this. McFarlane Toys is going to be making Hasbro products. They're making the Page Puncher, the little 3-inch figures for G.I. Joe and Transformers. Now, I don't know how I feel about the Transformer ones. I kind of hope, because this was put into my ear by the 308 podcast, that what if they made Transformers at 7-inch, which is the same scale as a transforming current mainline, and they made 7-inch Transformers that were like red figures, but better. But when it comes to G.I. Joe, I really, in my last run, I found this Lex Luthor for $8.50, which still isn't, it's not a bad price, but I don't think it's worth it for just the figure or even the comic book. But for $10, if this was a Joe, I'd almost feel like it's worth it because they can intermingle with some mass figures. These are some random mass figures laying around that I just threw on this picture here. But looking at that, yeah, that would work really well if they did a line of Joes that scale to scale with your mass figures. If you are like a hardcore mass collector and you only liked a few of the Joe collectors or the Joe characters. You can put them in with your mask collection, but that looks really good. Also makes me wonder, will they do mask figures one day? Could they unlock Hasbro's vault and get to all these franchises? A little bit of story time here. I did back the Cobra Mothership in the last hour or so, and the thing about it was that I felt they were going to play with the numbers, and we'd wake up in the morning and magically it would cross the 4,000 line. Would it be they put in BBTS orders, Entertainment Earth orders? Okay, do you know where I'm going with this? There are no BBTS orders, and there are no Entertainment Earth orders, because they've had to put all their Super 7 stuff at ultra super steep discount, and they have no confidence to do this. Were there Thunder Tanks at BBTS? Yes. Were there Thunder Tanks at Entertainment Earth? Yes. Are they clearancing out the Thunder Tank? Yes. So it's one of those things that I don't think they got the support of the retailers, online retailers. They didn't get the support they needed to fund this. The reason I funded it was for twofold. Number one, if it did actually get made, it'd be one of the rarest crowdfunds ever to exist in modern history. I mean, there's other rare crowdfunds out there, like Wave 2 of Power Lords. They don't exist. The rarest of these never get made. Obviously, this one joined that pack. The second thing was I was to see how long it took for me to get my money back. And the third, well, there's like a third thing, to see if I ordered the figures, if I could still order the figures. So they did cancel all of it at once, $730. But I did the flex pay or whatever, shop pay, and I only had 182 floated for 36 hours. And then I got my money back. So it was really not a big deal. But there was no way I was going to back this day one. All right, Ramen Toy's got a lot going on this thing. So this is what it looks like stickered up. Now, yes, this one it has to be stickered up. They can't tamper graph it. The reason being is because of the fact that Big Daddy Hasbro over there put their fist down, and so they have to comply. Now, this actual model here will have a tan interior, so the one that they put the stickers on has a black interior. The one you receive, if you order the second version, has a tan interior. But still, this thing looks slick. This thing looks sweet, and yeah, quite sexy. Here's another angle of it, and with it stickered up and all that. And it's going to have, I think, back metal chrome on the wing guns and stuff. I am considering kit bashing two, because I have two of each. So I was thinking about kit bashing two together to make a perfect one. I don't know. But I do like the idea of stickers, because of the fact that I can make copies of the stickers and not even have to use the original sheet. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do, a lot of options and opportunity, and with it, it looks fantastic. It's almost sold out. There's only 40 left. CAG sets are in production. I did order 3. I'm thinking about ordering more. This is how it's coming out clear, but it's going to have paint on it, whether it's matte or gloss, depending on which one you get. Now, this is a comparison from the original CAG, well, the original Canopy. CAG is Canopy and Guns, and the original Canopy, it's a little dorky looking, to tell you the truth. This streamlines it, makes it look a lot cooler, and I think it looks better from the front. I mean, this angle, you don't see the impact as much as straight on the front. Here's lots of CAGs, well, 3 CAGs set up, and this is what you get, and it looks pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. It's one of those things that they're just going to keep pre-selling these until they just stop, I guess. And then you got to get in on this if you want it. And there's a lot of these Batmobiles out there that need this improvement. And for $20, I don't think it's bad. And ordering 3 for 20, and then you still only have 17. I actually ordered all of what we're about to see, all of the 80s Commanders, and I ordered 3 CAG sets, and it's still only 17 shipping. All right, we're getting into 80s Commanders. I am super ultra excited about Apache Commander Jonathan Tama. That's the name they use on it. Really excited for that figure in particular, mostly because I have the rest of this. I mean, I already have the rest of it, so that's the one figure that excites me the most. But I'm also excited about getting these in this packaging. Really exciting and fun to see the packaging that they're using going forward. A lot of fun. Okay, so there's some model kits from Good Smile coming out with these RoboCop model kits, and there's a Meteoroid Ed 209, Meteoroid, a RoboCop 3 model kit. Now, each RoboCop stands 6.7 inches tall. Ed 209 is 7.9 inches tall. And if you want to get on what I feel are reasonably priced model kits, problem is, well, I guess you can just look up a YouTube video and find out if somebody else has put one of these together and how long it takes and how many parts and all that. But the jetpack equipment plastic model kit RoboCop version is $50. The standard one is $40, so $41. So you can get one, and it's basically $10 more to get that jetpack. And then you can get the one, the Ed 209 is $60. I think it's a pretty good price. The NECA Ed 209 is like really expensive. I think it actually went on sale for $60. I should have jumped on it. The Ed 209 from NECA has electronics. This does not, but cool options if you're interested in putting a little time and effort into putting them together. So if you watch the channel, you know I'm not really into Marvel Legends, but this X-Men 97 wave, plus they're on retro style card backs, plus it's pretty cool, plus you're going to get sort of the best of what they should have done with their Engines of Vengeance, the Goblin Queen. There's also another like red demon devil character that people wanted. If you look at the Goblin Queen, and you look at the way the lines are on her thighs, her waist, all that, you could get effectively, it's the same thing, basically. Just the paint apps are placed in different places. You could get a more fleshier version of this painted down the road. I think we'll get it eventually. But this is where we're at now. This is where it's starting. But down the road, yeah, we're going to get many repaints of this in the future. Of course, if they follow the same guideline that they've gone by forever, then yeah, probably. But all these figures look cool. All these figures are interesting, and I plan on picking most of them up. All right, we got M. Bison from Jada Toys in hand. I'm not sure how this showed up in hand. Somebody got it, took some pictures of it and stuff. Really cool, really awesome. This is one of the cooler looking figures and characters. This is where we're starting to get into what I think fans want. I mean, we don't want Ryu and Ken over and over again. We want deeper into this. Now, I did pick up a Sagat on my road trip for like $30 from Toy Base 10. And I'm looking forward to the Jada Toys because it's going to have more articulation. It's going to look more like the cartoon than what I picked up for $30, and it's going to be cheaper. So it's a good price point on this figure for $25. Sagat might actually be a deluxe. It might cost more. But anyway, still doesn't matter. It's really cool. I'm excited for the M. Bison that's coming from Jada Toys. This is another line I didn't think I was going to be in on. But when I saw him, I thought, wow, that's actually really cool looking. And I started picking them up. This is the McFarlane Batman Animated Series Wave 2 Lockup Build-A-Figure. And I don't even know who Lockup is, but he's cool. And the other one was like Condiment Man or something. But yeah, it was a fun wave to collect. These look cool. They're interesting. And they're fun overall. And you get a Blind as Batman, the Riddler Batman Animated Series, the Joker Batman Animated Series, and then James Gordon. Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, a lot of fun. This is another Marvel Legends story here. There's a ton of Marvel Legends drops this week, and I'm not big into Marvel Legends. But I want to say this. I've noticed Hasbro doing this, and we're going to see it later in this, where they forced you to buy two figures to get one you want. But I think in this case, I think a lot of people are going to want that Logan and Sabertooth, both. And am I wrong? If you collect Marvel Legends, am I wrong? I mean, I feel like I'm a fish out of water talking about Marvel Legends, but I think that's what people want. Not me specifically, but I think Marvel Legends collectors want that. So according to TNI News, Toy News International, overseas eBay seller showed a picture of these real Ghostbusters, Kenner Classic figures, and brand manager Emily Badger recently confirmed via Reddit. Now, I gotta say a couple things. So this is gonna be from multiple angles, but number one, the original figures that came out, the original 4 Ghostbusters, made sense because the plasma streams on the vintage ones are broken on like 60% of the figures. To get a new figure with an unbroken plasma stream and to get the plasma feature to work makes sense. Number 2, these Fright feature ones are ridiculously cheap. Like, you can go on eBay and get them all and get them complete, get all the parts for dirt cheap. I mean, I got mine for $3 each, and I have probably 2 or 3 of each of these accessories laying around. Probably got 6 of each figure. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I collected this at the height of the pandemic too, and it was still cheap, like dirt cheap at the height of the pandemic. I don't think these will sell well. I also want to say I like these more than the original figures. I think the fright feature is the coolest thing they made, but I don't think they'll sell well. I do not. I think this is going to flop. What they should have done was do the Ecto Glow figures, the glow-in-the-dark Ecto Glow figures, even if you sell them at a premium. Ghostbuster collectors would buy 4 and 5 sets just to have them carded, have them opened, have them all over the place. I mean, Ecto Glow is really the only thing that people go after, the holy grail of this, and they don't make it. So we're starting to see some Crystar figures actually showing up. We see Hong Kong sellers. I saw someone in, I think, New Jersey had one for sale. It's interesting. It's showing up. I have some crazy stuff planned for a video. Maybe it's not that crazy. Some fun stuff planned for a video when I finally get my hands on one of these. And I have 4 pre-ordered. I plan to buy more. And if they show up at Ross or Ollie's, I'll buy more. I think this is awesome. I'm going to support Crystar. This is something I want to see them make all the characters, but I know they won't. We're just going to get Crystar and never another one. But if we support it, maybe we get a second one. And I got a lot of stuff out of order here. So this is like a clearance story. But I did not buy this Snake Eyes Timber set because I just bought Snake Eyes and Timber, and then they put it back out with another Snake Eyes and Timber set. And I was like, I just spent $40 on one, and now you want me to spend $42 on another one? Well, Walmart has this on clearance for $15.97. So I'm going to help myself to 2 because I waited. And with that, you can get yourself a $5 Baroness, an $8 Baroness, $5 Lady J, and I think it's $15 for the Destro. But lots of deals to be had for G.I. Joe Classified on Walmart.com, especially this one. All right, so if you were to ask me, give me 10 figures we should make, Battle Droid is one of them. But I don't like how they're doing this in the Star Wars Black Series, C-3PO, B-1 Battle Droid body, and the Super Battle Droid. I gotta say, we're gonna see this Battle Droid again in many different recolors and different iterations. But it's cool we're getting it. I'm passing on this set. I mean, easily. But I will get a standard one, especially since we see the plastic returns in this. And I just think that this is really strange. I can see a lot of things happening with this Battle Droid in the future, and they'll probably put it out 5 times. This is not one of the times I'm jumping in on it, but they're kind of showing their hand for the future. It's pretty cool. Where's my Destroyer Droid? Where's my Droidica? I mean, I'd buy a few of those. You know, it's funny. I was actually going to make a video last week about what my top 10 things that I liked about the prequels, and I'm warming up more to the prequels because of the sequel trilogy. But we're going to get into this. Vintage Collection Jango Fett. Now, my belief, my understanding is it's rebuilt from the ground up because, you know, you don't want to be like your other 5 Jango Fetts. 7? 10? I don't know. Anyhow, I'm passing on it simply because it's in a closed box packaging, and it's well, okay, I'm not passing on it. It's going to be $4 at Ollie's. Trust me. I just passed on so many $4 Ollie's figures that are in that closed box because they're in a closed box. I didn't even pay $4 for them. That's the way it is. But anyway, supposed to be a deluxe set, whatever. I just don't feel the forces with this one. So I did a little research into this because it really wasn't right in my face that this is a Target exclusive, but this is a Target exclusive. I can't believe it. I can't believe they're making this. This is retro Phantom Menace figures, which I collected the Phantom Menace. I was in the line in 1999. I was so excited. Oh my gosh, we're getting these. And I'll talk a little more about that when I show the picture of how cheap you can get those figures. But now we're getting these in retro in the carded, like they're from the 80s. And there was a time where I said, why don't they make everything in this card back. And now I see why. If you have any nostalgia for this, your nostalgia is not based on original trilogy. It's based on the Phantom Menace, the prequels. And you want prequel packaging. It doesn't make any sense. Like this makes no sense. And then people predict that anything Phantom Menace clogs up retail. Anything Phantom Menace is... that's why it's an exclusive, by the way. But anything Phantom Menace is like a death to the line. Which is why it's exclusive. I mean, Target got suckered into this. I mean, good job, Target. Not really. But let me show you something. This is the guy who bought $168 worth of this crap the day it was on the shelves. And I was so excited. I went home with my contact reader and I was trying to hear every phrase and figure out what the movie's going to be about. And yeah, that sounds kind of dorky, to tell you the truth. But anyway, I have a little nostalgia for that. I have no interest in buying those figures. I'll get them on super ultra clearance from Target down the road. But you could get this on eBay right now. If you want to go on eBay right now, you can get this. A seller selling these figures, what is it, 8 figures for $45. If you offered him 20, I bet you he would accept it in 4 seconds. I mean, I want to get rid of that crap. I mean, I've got all this. And I've even got some I picked up on clearance for $2. And I don't plan on selling it because it's just part of my collection. But also, I want to point out that when I was doing my last road trip, I had a discussion with a toy shop owner and then some fans in there, and I'll talk about that in my road trip video. But they brought up not this, but Power Force 2 stuff. Now, if you stuck with the channel long enough and you watched this deep into the video, you're going to get something special here. This is a CFCB poll for mask miniatures that they're going to make. And I kept this poll simply because I'm intrigued by what people that buy his product, he's keeping Mask alive on his channel or his site, and 35.3% want Thunderhawk, 8.8 want the Shark, 10.3 want the Gator, 26.5. So Rhino is number 2. These are miniatures, like I'm guessing Hot Wheels size. Not sure how small they're gonna go. Venom, 5.9, Wildcat, 1.5. So you can see those numbers yourself. But I found it fascinating what fans of Mask want. And it's not surprising. It's not a surprise at all, really. So it's been a kind of a fun week of news. It's been real weird. It's been a weird week. But I guess you could say that about every week. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Remember to be nice and kind and cordial to all the employees working in retail this next week. It's going to be a rough week for them, especially the weekend. Like, subscribe. Tadira Hanger out.